have Mr. Larry Dodson here, and we're at the Freedom and Funk celebration, and he's going to be telling us what's going on.
This is the opening reception for the Freedom and Funk Weekend, which was originally named Freedom and Peace Weekend, which was started by the legendary Michael Anderson. And this is a tribute to Mike, and also a chance to let the entire Memphis City know that this will continue on by way of just a little bit of a name change. Freedom and Funk. Mr. Derwin Collins is responsible for that, and there were many things happened tonight. The foundation was set up tonight.
This is the Michael Redbone Anderson Scholarship. This will be a scholarship for high school seniors who want to go to college. This will be a scholarship for the next generations coming up.
Many people spoke. There were proclamations given, and just some wonderful things said about an incredible guy, Michael Anderson, whom we all miss and love so much.
I heard wonderful things about Mr. Michael Anderson tonight. I know that we have some Memphis followers, but we have some followers that are outside of Memphis. Can you tell us a little bit about Michael Anderson?
Michael, being a promoter, a businessman, and involved in radio, he touched people all over the world. I mean, he was just, and he just didn't do African-American shows. And Michael did a lot of rock concerts. He had a broad base of things. He was a very talented guy, incredible businessman, and just a wonderful guy to know.
He seemed like it. Heard very wonderful things tonight, all the speakers. Mr. Dodson, also, could you introduce yourself? Because I don't know if everyone knows who you are, but they should.
I'm Larry Dodson, the lead singer of the Barcades.
Nice, the Barcades. Yeah. So if you haven't heard about them, Memphis band, right?
Absolutely. We've been around. We
very
celebrated
famous.
50 years in show business last year.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Lord, way before my time.
Yep, that's exactly right.
I have to go out and buy some albums. So are you still performing? You still
on
stage?
We just got back from Tokyo, Japan. We got back from Tokyo and Osaka. And we're getting ready to start our 2017 tour.
Nice. Do you have any dates lined up or places?
Absolutely.
Can you give us some
We
hints?
start at the Super Bowl on February the 4th, and then we go on to Baltimore. We do the UNCF concert, and just on and on.
Nice. Well, it looks like a really great lineup, different things going on. So any local events, any Memphis stuff? Where can I come see you?
We just postponed our Memphis concert. We were actually supposed to perform on the 15th as a part of this, but we wanted to bring in some other partners, some other really, really wonderful charities to partner with us on the concert. And by us being gone for such a long time, in the last part of the year, it just got a little tight on us. So we just postponed the concert. We're going to do it very, very soon, though.
But things to come in Memphis from the Barcades, right?
Things to come, yes.
Okay. And also, so with the Freedom and Funk celebration, what's going to be going on this weekend?
Well, Monday, of course, the Grizzlies game is involved in this, which is going to be Sunday. And, of course, Monday, they're going to roast us. And, of course, with Martin Luther King, whom all of this is about, the celebration of his life and legacy, there will be things going on at the Civil Rights Museum and just a host, a plethora of things going on in celebration of Martin Luther King.
Nice. So you mentioned a roast. Can you tell us a little about the roast and tell us where it's at?
I know nothing about what's going on. All I know is I'm going to be roasted. And
are you mentally ready?
No.
No? Okay, well when that's going on, just make sure you smile and you laugh a little bit, and you don't take it to heart, right?
Don't take it to heart, right?
Okay,
that's great advice.
So we're ready.
Okay, I remember that.
So as far as next year, anything coming up?
Just touring, maybe new music, and getting involved in our foundation, and making sure that this Michael Redbone Anderson Foundation which was started tonight, gets a lot of help, support, so that we can help afford some kids to college and have 2 or 3 recipients for next year.
Okay, so with that being said, I know that some people are going to wonder, how can they contribute to the scholarship? How can we find you or reach you? Any kind of social media, email addresses?
www.barcades.com, and that you'll get a link to this foundation through that. www.thebarcades.com.
Okay, well, you heard that. www.thebarcades.com. If you want to contribute, definitely go on the website.
He said, well, don't worry about it, Bobby Rush. Did you have fun behind the curtain? That's how I sure did. He said, you could do anything behind the curtain. I was playing behind the curtain. 2 girls on each side of me. I was playing. That ain't funny. But Michael made me laugh just like that. It always makes you laugh.
We're back with Black Butterfly Media Television. I'm your host again, Princess Lynch, and we're here with Mr. Bobby Rush, an amazing musician, singer, all the great stuff. Memphis native, yes?
Well, I've been coming in Memphis for about 55 or 60 years, but I was born in Louisiana. I went to Arkansas with my father, pastor of the church, then moved to Chicago. I lived there for 48 years now, back in Jackson, Mississippi, but Memphis, I started playing Memphis in 1951.
Right, so it's like a second home to you.
Yeah, it was a second home. But that Memphis, I don't know what I would do. But this weekend been a great weekend for me because it's celebrating Martin Luther King weekend. We call it the Martin Luther King weekend because it's birthday weekend.
Right.
And he and I got to be friends from 1960.
Nice.
I met him in 1960. And he encouraged me to do a lot of things I'm doing now because without Martin Luther King, I don't know where I would be as a black entertainer now because I have crossed over, but I never crossed out. I'm talking about my black people that were with me all the while. But now, I'm one of the few guys that crossed over, but I haven't forgotten where I come from. I haven't crossed out. So I'm feeling good. This is a weekend that I'll never forget. It's a serious thing because I remember working back in the early 50s behind a curtain where a white audience wanted to hear my music, but they didn't want to see my face.
Right, but now you're right in front.
I'm right in front. And
music videos and all.
A lot of that because of Martin Luther King.
Very true.
Walked and marched and brought some things by that made it better for us as entertainers, especially black entertainers.
Tore down a lot of racial barriers,
yes.
And of course have a holiday to celebrate.
And a holiday to honor him because, beyond that, I'm just hoping that more people who don't know about him will know about him because we don't know enough about the history of him and what he stood for. Because it's a shame that I went to a program a couple of years ago. It was about Mecca Everett. People living in Jackson, Mississippi didn't know who he was. So I'm hoping and praying that this will never come by where black people as a whole don't know who Martin Luther King was.
Right, everyone
what he stood
should.
Yes.
I must admit, coming into Memphis, because I've been here for about 2 years when I first got here, I never knew why he originally came down, and then I found out it was the sanitation strike. A lot of history here. This is definitely a city where you learn a lot about the history of African American culture, music, different things like that.
Well, he was about the music. He was about freedom of every walk of life, about every person that you could think of. And we should never forget what he died for. We should never forget that. This is a weekend, my hat's off to this weekend because of him and a lot of people like him.
All right, well, I'm hoping that everyone will be celebrating the birth of Dr. Martin Luther King. And of course, if you're in the Memphis area, coming down to the museum. But we're going to sway a little bit back to you. And we're going to talk about your music. You've got a recent album, right?
Yeah, a new album is called Porcupine Meat.
Well, now, that is an interesting name.
Too fat to eat and too lean to throw away. It's up for award. I'm up for Grammy this time for my 4th time in a row. I've been up for award 28 times. I won 17 roughly time out of that 28. But I've been up for a Grammy 4 times. Never brought it home, but you always a winner just being in the race. I'm bringing it home.
This year, we're going to bring it home.
Bring it home.
So we're going to move back just a little bit. You were just telling us about the title of your album, right?
It's called Porcupine Meat. Let me explain it to you.
Okay, because I was going to ask.
Porcupine Meat is like I'm in love with this woman. I know she don't mean me no good, but I would leave her if I could.
But you can't.
But I can't because what she do to me is so great, and so that's Porcupine Meat.
Okay.
Too
well, we
fat
got
to
the
eat, too lean to
definition
throw
of
away.
porcupine meat. With
Yeah.
that being said, I know a lot of
Yes.
musicians, artists, they tend to write about things that they're going through. Did someone inspire
Well,
this
this
song?
part of the thing that everybody go through somewhere down the line. Because it's not too many times you get an equal love affair. Someone love more than others in the relationship.
Right.
But nevertheless, if you just stay together, who love who's the reason for what, it doesn't make a difference. As long as you stay together,
Right.
it doesn't make a difference.
That's a good
It's
thing.
like
You
my
gotta work through it, fight it out, kind of move forward.
You have
right?
your ups and downs, and
Right.
you don't fall out because you have disagreement.
Right.
You work through it, and you hold hands, and you make life.
That's something that this new generation, I think we need to really listen to what he's saying. We need to start working through things, right? Instead of just giving up.
You can't give up. I'm staying right there because porcupine meat is too fat to eat and too lean to throw away.
I listened to that song earlier and I watched the video. I said,
Yes.
I'm gonna have to go buy this
You
album.
thought I was talking about some meat you put on the table.
No,
I just
I
demonstrate.
didn't know.
Oh,
I didn't know.
wow.
I looked at the title and I said, what is this about? So when I listened to it, I watched the video. I said, oh, this is interesting.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we were talking about your music. We're talking about this song. I know someone's gonna want to go hear it, go pick up CD or something.
Well, you can pick
How
up,
can we find you?
You can pick it. You can go to BobbyRush.com, and any record store, mostly in this country, can get it because I'm distributed by one of the biggest labels around. Some of the people who distribute me with Rounders Records, and one of the biggest around. So it's no problem. If you find the Elton John, you can find a Bobby Rush. So I'm not that hard to find. BobbyRush.com. If you know my name, Google my name, you can find Bobby Rush.
Okay, so if we know his name, we can Google it, we can find it, we can get porcupine meat soon. Are you going to be touring, moving around, performing anywhere?
I'm here tonight because I'm performing at the Paradise tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to be on Saturday. It's the old Paradise. Now, it's been there for many, many years. I may be 40, 50 years old. And when they reopened it back up, it's a real nice place now. They state-of-art kind of a building now, so they put a lot of money into the building. Seats about 3,500 people. It's going to be a great show. Myself and Denise will sell on tomorrow. Okay. And we're going to be there doing my thing, baby. I'm going to bring a little porcupine meat to the gig. Hope I can get the club owners to taste it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if I will eat porcupine meat, though. Well, thank you for taking this time here today. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me on. And good luck to your show. You got a great show. I heard about your show. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I want to be on it because y'all got that blackness thing going. I love it. It's very fitting for this weekend being the Martin Luther King birthday weekend. So the funk thing is going around, and on Monday, Larry Dodson with this salute to them. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be down to support them.
Are you going to be at the roast on Monday?
They're going to be at the roast, sure. That roast is around them. They're going to roast them. I got some dirt I want to talk about on the podcast. Come on, see me.
Okay. Well, if you're in the area, definitely come out on Monday. There's going to be a roast. Thank you for being tuned in to Black Butterfly Media Television. I've been your host, Princess Lynch.